Welcome back, everybody. How you doing? Happy Wednesday. Feel free to jump in and say hello. Let us know where everyone's joining from so we can see how far our energy is reaching across the world. Christine says good morning, Jacqui and Tribe. If today's your first time with me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I am a spiritual problem solver of types, and I join you from Northern Illinois, where we are having the windiest couple days. It all started last night. Winds of change are definitely in the air in my existence for my life. So let's hear about what's going on with you guys, too. Jocelyn, good morning from Chatham, Ontario. Welcome, Jocelyn. Jacqui says, greetings, lovely friends. Nice to be back together. Has it been a week? I was here on Friday. What? No, I was here last Wednesday. That's right, it's been 1 week. Nice to be back together. I've been so busy, guys. It's wonderful. It's wonderful that I'm so busy, but I do miss this time. This is one of my favorite things that I do nowadays. Pablo, good morning from Colombia. Jocelyn says it's very windy there too. Interesting. Jess, hello from Australia. Welcome, welcome. That is definitely on my bucket list. Australia, you are going to welcome me at some point. Lynn, good afternoon, everyone in Stockholm, Sweden. Wow, we are all over the place. I love it. Carrie, good morning. Yay, hump day, cold and snowy in Colorado. Welcome, welcome. AJ, good morning. Helen, good morning, aliens. Nice to see you. What are we talking about today, guys? We're going to talk some astrology, and then I'm going to pull some oracle cards, and then we're going to say goodbye. Today's going to be a pretty quick one. On Wednesdays, I try to end right around 9 o'clock-ish. I'm Central Time. Because I invite all of you guys to come with us to Katrina Boss's dance party after this. She's another teacher on Insight Timer, and she hosts an ecstatic dance movement therapy thing that is just magical. So if you can get over yourself and dance around like no one's watching, it's a great place to be afterwards. Hello, Bonnie. Welcome. Peace. Good morning. Carmen from Toronto. Got my Canadian friends today. Audra, good morning from Pembroke, Ontario. Alicia, good morning. Helen, I've been flying around in my weather balloon. I distance myself from news for reasons like this. Christine, will be spring here in Philly. Suburbs 61 degrees. I love it. Linda says, hello, Jacqui. Grateful for your presence today. Likewise. Melissa, thanks for the tip. You're welcome, but I forgot what I said. Michelle, good morning from Michigan. News is totally dangerous for your health. Yes. Anyway, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm about to release another episode of my podcast. It's edited and it's ready to go. I just need to find the time to post it. So I started a podcast a couple weeks ago. Total truth, total transparency. It's like Insight Timer, Jacqui, like minus some politeness is a good way to put it. Yeah. So if you want to listen to my podcast, it's all about spirituality. My goal is to interview a bunch of people in the spiritual realm and just get everyone's opinion on why we're here and what this all means and how they got to where they are and all that fun stuff. So just search my name on YouTube, Jacqui Mancuso. That's where it's coming out right now. I'm working... A title is a work in progress, and I don't want to announce it until it's like totally solidified, but yeah, so follow me on YouTube. I also post these replays on YouTube, so you can catch those there. What else is going on? I have my upcoming retreat, my women's retreat that's coming up at the end of March. It's March 30th through April 2nd. That is a Thursday through Sunday. It's happening in Jamestown, Kentucky, and I invite all of my lovely ladies to come join us there. There's more information on the Aquarius Adventures retreat in my on my website, which you can find in the Insight Timer profile. It's lakesidelivinghhealer.com. So information about the retreat is there. And also, I'm starting a new Patreon community coming up in a month. Wow. Okay, so the official launch date of Embody Astrology is on March 17th, but the pre-party is already going. So this is a bi-weekly meeting. So it's going to be a Zoom group call where we talk about the upcoming astrological season, and I'll give you guys some ways to embody that season into your life so that you're working with nature and you're working with the universe, as opposed to fighting against it and trying to do all of the time. So yeah, learning astrology has helped me flow through my life with more ease and grace, and this is me creating a community where we can all learn together and bounce ideas off of each other too. It's not just me teaching like this platform. You know, I love reading your comments when I'm here, but I'm starting this Patreon/Discord community so that we can completely collaborate, you know, because I know I don't know it all. I know that, you know, your experiences have just as much validity as everything that I'm blabbing out of my mouth all the time. So information for Embody Astrology is also on my website. Lucy says, hello all, very spring-like here in England. Loving it. I love it. I love it. Linda is also joining from Philly. Beautiful. All right, astrology. What is happening? Today in the sky, we have Venus coming conjunct to Neptune. So they are both at 24 degrees of Pisces. And then tomorrow, the sun is going to come conjunct to Saturn at 27 degrees of Aquarius. So I encourage you to always have your natal chart with you whenever I start talking astrology, because we always look at where these points are in your chart. But let's talk about today. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, harmony, and money. She is right on top of Neptune, who is the god of the sea. Neptune represents our dreams, our unconsciousness, and also how we escape. They are coming together at 24 degrees of Pisces. Pisces is the sign of the mystic. Pisces represents the final release. Pisces is a mutable water sign. So mutable signs are the ones that culminate, they finish, they clear out the cobwebs before walking into the fresh new cardinal sign. So Pisces represents the final release, and Pisces is also the sign of unconditional love. So Venus, this little beauty planet, with Neptune, the god of the sea, the unconscious, dreamy master, in the sign of unconditional love, this conjunction is bringing so many blessings to our life, and I will talk more about that. So I ask you to look at your chart to find where 24 degrees of Pisces lies, just to get an idea of what area of your life this conjunction is flavoring for you. So I'm seeing this as a gentle kiss to help make your dreams a reality. Venus bringing that gentle little kiss, maybe like brushing the cheek of Venus, or brushing the cheek of Neptune, and Neptune wants to dream everything that we want into our reality. So this can also look like bringing harmony, Venus, to the final release, Neptune, of a delusion. Neptune. I said that wrong. Bringing harmony from Venus to the final release, Pisces, of a delusion, Neptune. Or this could be bringing harmony to the final release of a form of escapism from Neptune. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, so that energy is amplified there. Neptune's been in Pisces for quite some time. I don't know off the top of my head, but years and years. Venus expresses her energy well in Pisces, so this is a very just good feel. I'm getting a lot of like pink and purple energy here, just lovey-dovey, everything is smoothing out. And by looking at your chart to see where 24 degrees of Pisces lies, that will allow you to invite this energy into your life. Because in astrology, you know, the energy is available, But we still have free will. So as long as you're aware of what's happening, you're able to invite it into your life and to notice it more in your life. And actually, I had kind of a hiccup in my life yesterday. I don't want to go too much into detail about it, but I had something happen and I went into some of those shadow feelings of like, am I too naive? Like, did I bite off more than I can chew? Am I stupid for thinking that I could, create XYZ? And, it's one of those things where, like, I preach this all the time. Like, the universe has your back. You got to just throw it out there and the universe will catch you. And I had all of that in my brain, but I'm also, like, a human and I wanted to feel the emotions that I was feeling. So then as I started to make my notes about Venus conjunct Neptune, I, like, wanted to put my middle fingers up to my computer. Like, that's not what I'm feeling right now. Like, why would I want to be telling people about all this love and joy that's happening if I'm not feeling it myself? But then the more I started, like, diving into this energy and understanding it, it's reminding me that this is all a choice. Like yesterday I chose to sit with my unwanted feelings in order for me to see the beauty that is available to me in this world. So I hope that gives you guys a little bit of a, what's that word? Like when someone else tells a story about themselves. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anecdote? Is that what I'm thinking? Yeah, so a way to, like, apply this. If what I'm saying, like, doesn't make any sense to you, once in a while, like, not today specifically, but if ever I'm speaking of an energy and you're like, that doesn't look like anything in my life, just trust that the more you feel into the energy, the more you just, like, hear the energy of the energy and less the words of the energy, it'll settle in for you. Carmina having a lot of 10th house stuff going on. Chiron, 25 of Pisces, Saturn at 25 of Pisces. Is there a big situation going on in your career or in your public image or in something dutiful, right? Saturn rules the 10th house, it's your duty. Is there something heavy going on in that area of your life that Venus and Neptune right now are coming to just, like, a breath of fresh air coming over that area of your life? I have no life at all, living as a hermit, don't know what to do next. Neptune right there in your 10th house, this is like giving you the opportunity to literally dream what it is that you want into your career, into how you want to be seen in the world in the most public version. So we have the Venus conjunct Neptune energy today. Tomorrow, the Sun is going to come conjunct to Saturn. So they will be right on top of each other. They're 1 degree apart right now. Tomorrow they're going to be at 27 degrees of Aquarius. So I invite you to look at where 27 degrees of Aquarius is in your chart. The Sun, whenever he comes conjunct to someone else, he shines a light on it and supercharges that energy. Okay? Saturn is father energy. Saturn is our responsibilities. He's our limits, our boundaries, how we discipline ourselves. Saturn is also like the bringer of time. He is father time. So the Sun conjunct Saturn is illuminating what needs to be done in order to receive the beauty from Venus and Neptune. Like I talk about, the universe gives us that alley-oop. The universe says, like, all right, here's step 1, step 2, step 3, receive, So it's a good chance that 27 degrees of Aquarius is 1 house before 24 of Pisces. So there's a really good chance in your chart, and in mine they're in the same house because I have a very large first house. This is all happening in my first house. But 27 degrees of Aquarius is where the Sun and Saturn are coming together, this big responsibility time. And then 24 of Pisces is where this, like, blessing comes from. So I'm seeing this as, like, Saturn wants you to tie up a loose end in, let's say, like, your 4th house so that you can welcome abundance in the 5th house, like in the next step. So when you look at the zodiac wheel, when you go from house 1 all the way to 12, it's almost as if you're, like, walking through a life journey. And then once you get to 12, everything, death and rebirth, and you come back to 1. But that's the energy that I was feeling. It's like Saturn wants you to get responsible on one part of your life so that you're able to welcome in the blessings that Venus and Neptune are setting up for you in that next step. Good morning, Kay. Welcome. So, the 4th and 5th house just came to mind. So if Aquarius is in your 4th house, that would be like a big responsibility thing in your family of origin in order to receive a blessing, which would be in your 5th house. 5th house represents children, right? So it's like Saturn wants you to get your ducks in a row with your mother so that your daughter receives, like you can give and receive more love with your daughter, if that makes sense. Let's say Aquarius is your 7th house. So Saturn wants you to tie up loose ends and get responsible with your relationships so that if Pisces is in your 8th house, then 8th house is that shared finances. So like get your ducks in a row with your relationships so that you can receive blessings in 8th house shared finances. Like you got to have that thing jiving before you can receive the next step. So I hope that makes sense. Jackie says, I'm finally getting this, Jackie, thanks to your Insight Timer class on astrology and my notes. I'm going from 6th house to 7th and can totally see the plan. I love it, Jackie. Thanks for sharing. So Jackie is referring to the course that I have on Insight Timer called Astrology 101. 13-day audio course. It gives the basic overview of what the heck all of this means in astrology, just so that you can understand what's going on when you hear like, oh, Saturn is conjunct the sun, using your own, okay, I know what the sun means, I know what Saturn means, and I know what Aquarius represents, so let's A plus B plus C equals whatever. So yeah, check out Astrology 101. Courtney, thoughts on the 9th and the 10th house? 9th house represents travel, and when I say travel, I don't only mean physically, I mean esoterically. It's the sign of philosophy, or the house of philosophy. So if you were to have Saturn, like Saturn wants you to get clear on what the hell it is you believe about the world in order for you to receive the blessings of 10th house career. That feels right to me. Christina, need a house to live in expensive Vancouver or get out of Dodge? The city sold its soul, profits over people. I've been avoiding big cities my whole life, but more strongly recently. So yeah, I hear you. So, oh, and then I also wanted to just throw out there that both transits here, so the Venus, Neptune in Pisces, Saturn, Sun in Aquarius, they're both near the end of their sign, 24 degrees, 27 degrees. So this is a whole energy of wrapping things up, closure, culmination, endings, transitions into the next version of your life, the next area of your life. And then rites of passage also came to mind. So another energy to represent what's going on here, I was thinking of like a traditional Catholic wedding, right? I didn't go through this, but I know people who did. But so thinking of like the wedding day as your blessing, that's the Venus Neptune. But before that, Saturn tells you to meet with the priest for counsel. Like you have to do the responsible thing, make sure that, the church clears your marriage or whatever happens in that council. Then Neptune and Venus are there saying, okay, here's your big day. Like, here's the blessing. So I hope that helps put it into perspective for you as well. So what I wanted to do today was to pull... I have 2 decks, and I'm feeling 1 card from each deck. And we'll see how this goes. I'm always up for going with the flow, especially we have this Pisces energy going on. Saturday starts Pisces season, so we're also wrapping up Aquarius season here. So the first deck, I want to ask, I'll just show you both of them right now. So I want to use Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell. That glare, to ask Neptune and Venus what blessing it is that we can expect. like a message from Neptune and Venus. Like, what is it that we should keep our sights on in order to receive what you want to give us? And then I want to ask Saturn and the Sun from Ask Your Guides, asking them what loose end it is that we need to tie up in order to receive this blessing. So let's see. Carmina says, my Chiron and Saturn in Pisces are the 10th house using Placidus, but 9th house using whole sign. This always confuses me. I agree. I use Placidus because of my attention to detail. Like, whole sign doesn't resonate with me. For those who aren't familiar with what we're talking about, in astrology, there's different chart types. You know, there's not just like one astrology chart, which adds confusion and all this stuff. But whole sign chart is where your first house is the beginning of your ascendant to the end of your ascendant. So your whole first house, let's just say, is the whole sign of Aquarius, and then the second house would be the whole sign of Pisces. In Placidus, it gets more detailed. So your ascendant, your first house, starts on a specific degree in your in the chart. So your ascendant is determined by what sign was actually rising on the Eastern Hemisphere at the moment of your birth. So with Placidus, your houses are not all the same size. In whole sign, all of your houses are exactly 30 degrees. Placidus, your houses can be bigger or smaller depending on, I don't even know what creates the houses, honestly. It's like a mathematical equation that I don't get into. I just feel the energies of the planets. But Placidus resonates with me more strongly because it's more precise, in my opinion. Yeah, but use whatever works. You know, I invite you guys to look at your chart with different house systems, with different techniques. You know, I've even looked at my Vedic astrology chart, which is completely different, which I've been not doubting Western astrology, but I know that, like, there are times where the astrology chart that I look up says, like, oh, Venus is in Pisces. And then I use my Skyview app, whatever it's called, and I look and I'm like, well, Venus is in Capricorn actually in the sky. So what the hell's going on? So I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, I do live and breathe astrology. I'm even wearing the freaking astrology sweatshirt right now. But I am starting to, and I'm having clarification right now from my guides. I know I need to explore more Vedic astrology. I'm just not ready to take that on yet. So the cat's out of the bag, guys. You never know. You never know what's real. Audra prefers sidereal. Yeah, and just go with what resonates. You know, like, Placidus resonates with me right now, but I know it's not my end-all be-all. I've had a Vedic astrology oracle deck for years, and I don't know what to do with it because it's like an educational deck. But when the time comes, I'll make the switch, and believe you me, I'll take you with me, guys. I'll take you with me. Okay, if you've been enjoying today's session, if you'd like to offer an exchange of energy in the form of a donation, those are always appreciated. If money isn't a thing right now, you can follow me on Insight Timer. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can share my videos around. Those are all ways to show your support, to just, you know, give your energy to help me and all that stuff, because I love helping you guys. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I do offer astrology readings and a whole bunch of other stuff, so you can take a look at my personal website that's on my Insight Timer bio, lakesidelivinghealer.com. And Venus gave us a very fast message. I'm going to shuffle for Saturn. So yeah, if I didn't ask for your energy for the first one, it wasn't needed. But let's ask Saturn and the Sun, what ending? Is it an ending? No. What type of responsibility is upon us in order to receive the blessing from Venus and Neptune? And these are group readings, if that was unclear. So this message will carry something for everyone who is watching this right now. 88 meditators here. I love the number. Thank you very much, Courtney, for your donation. I much appreciate that. Okay. All right, you'll never guess what Venus and Neptune would like us to receive. Not even joking, the card is boundaries, just like Saturn wants us to set. So let's see what comes out through this message. So this card is, I was asking Venus and Neptune what blessing they have for us here as they come conjunct at 24 degrees of Pisces. And the message was boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? You are being called to create clearer boundaries in your life. This could be with your friends, family, or work. Saying yes when you really mean no leads to resentment, which is the biggest energy drain ever. At first, it might only be a little bit and not feel like a big deal. But before you know it, your energy field becomes porous and you are left feeling depleted, resentful, or taken advantage of. Saying no and having clear boundaries is actually a spiritual act. The most giving, loving, compassionate people are those with the clearest boundaries. For when they say yes, they are able to give unconditionally. When your boundaries are clear, others know where they stand, and you are able to give freely. If you are not clear where your boundaries lie, this causes confusion, resentment, and energetic cords to be planted. If you are saying yes when you really mean no, you are likely needing something yourself. Ask yourself, what part of me needs something from them? It could be a need for approval, a fear of being seen a certain way, or a fear of loss. The best way to gauge your boundaries is to check in with your belly. Your belly is your second brain. It has an intelligence known as your gut feelings. Tune into this space when deciding what is okay for you. How does it feel? What is it trying to communicate with you? Where in your life do you need to establish better boundaries? So what I got out of that card, and I'm curious to see what Saturn and the Sun want to tell us about our boundaries and our limitations, but the blessing is boundaries. The blessing is that freedom to say no, that freedom to offer what it is you have to offer and nothing more. The freedom to know that you're accepted for giving to your limit. I used to think that having unclear boundaries was a way of making me more loving and giving. I used to give and give and give because I could, and I still struggle with that. I still have that, well, I can do this, so I should. And it's difficult to know that, well, I can do this, but if I do, then I won't have enough for X, Y, and Z. It's okay to say no. And I like the way that the card mentions that those who have boundaries, like, if someone never tells you no, it makes you uncomfortable, like, to ask, because you know that they're always going to say yes, and it's like a guilty thing, like, well, you don't have to say yes, I'm just asking because I want help, and you keep saying yes, and I can tell that this is draining you, but, like, I need help from someone, and you're here. But the ones who do say no to me every so often, like, those are the people that I like asking for help more often, because I know that they're going to be truthful when they do say that they are able to help me. I'm assuming you guys are commenting and the chat is just paused, because that happens from time to time. I don't see any chats coming through about the boundaries card, but let me know how that resonates with you guys. And then we're going to read the card from Saturn and the Sun regarding what it is that we need to, what boundary do we need to set in order to receive the blessing of boundaries. And the card that came out from Ask Your Guides is card number 2, partnerships, and love. The message from this card is infatuation, romance, connection, introduction. Your nature spirits, known as runners, are working to introduce you to a wonderful new partnership to fulfill your heart's desire. Whether in the areas of business, friendship, or romantic love, these practical guides are leading you directly toward the appropriate person to best support your soul at this time. Follow your heart as they strive to connect you with the right associations. Be more open to others, especially those whom you meet by chance. Say hello to the new neighbor in your building. Suggest having lunch with the intriguing woman who sat next to you at your last business luncheon, or strike up a conversation with the guy in front of you at the checkout line, even if it's not your usual habit. In reality, it's not accidental that you suddenly find yourself attracted to certain people. Your runners placed you in their path so that you could meet. Invite these energetic nature spirits to continue to direct you to others who are significant for your soul path. Their message: relax. We will make all the necessary introductions you seek. So this card was asking Saturn and the Sun where we need to be responsible in order to receive the blessing of boundaries. The first thing that I'm getting from this card is that you're going to meet someone in the next 2 days, 2 weeks. This is card number 2. Someone's going to come into your life who might teach you a lesson about how to set boundaries. This could be like a re-meeting of someone in your life. Maybe you're able to look at someone in your life a different way in order to see how you can set boundaries, in order to identify where you haven't been setting boundaries and to let yourself know that it's okay to set those boundaries. How open are you guys when you're out and about and you're attracted to someone? I used to be very, very shy, but now if someone's pulling my energy towards them, I know that there's a reason, and I know that there's something I am to meet, or I am to know about them, you know? Courtney said that last card resonates with her. I love it. Alicia, I too have trouble saying no. Yes. Remember that you're enough, no matter how much you do. That was one of the things that I had to work through when learning how to say no, right? You have to love yourself enough to limit yourself. Discipline equals self-love. Lynn, herewith got all the hands surrounding all again. Is that on both cards? Good observation, Lynn. I didn't even notice that. Look at all the hands. So, okay, very interesting. Very interesting. So the blue card was what we were asking Saturn and the Sun, where we need to set our boundaries, like what we need to conclude in order to receive. So it looks like we need our community. Look at, they're all joining together in order to know how and when to set boundaries and close out. And then look at on the top of her head here on the boundaries card, it looks like a star. We have those stars over here. I feel like there's more coming through. That's why I'm just holding them up. But I love that. Thank you so much, Lynn, for pointing that out, because that's beautiful. Hello, Catherine. Spiral of Ascension. Alicia says, depends on my mood if I'm open or shy when I meet someone I don't know. That's the best part, is like you don't know them and they don't know you, so why not just be yourself? Because If you are 100% yourself and you're totally authentic and this person is like, you're weird, I don't want to talk to you, cool. I just saved myself a whole lot of fakery. But if you're 100% yourself and you're totally authentic and you go up to the person and you're yourself and they're like, oh, I like this person. I would like to have you in my life now, please. Then you just made like the best friend that you could, you know? Don't have to wear the mask throughout the friendship, you know? Shall we do a culminating card? I don't feel like this is complete. I feel like there is one more message. What do you guys think? So in order to achieve a place for us to set boundaries and to know that we're allowed to set boundaries, we first need to connect with the people that we're drawn to. This is like a group thing too. Like if there's a group that you've been considering being a part of, it's because your guides are leading you towards that group. Fakery, I love that. Saved myself. Okay, I was just reminiscing about how much I love traveling because no one knows me and there are no expectations to fill. I love that. Dr. Monica only saw boundaries. The other card was partnerships and love. This was talking about if you're drawn to someone, go talk to them. Just open up the partnership aspect in your life. I'm going to pull a culminating card from Work Your Light. So if you would like to send your energy into this deck, asking for a wrap-up card, closing it all together. Venus conjunct Neptune in Pisces, Sun conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. What is it that we're wrapping up right before we walk into Pisces season? We have a beautiful start to Pisces season, guys. We have the sun enters Pisces, and then like the next day, depending on where you are in the world, we have that new moon in Pisces at 1 degree. It's just a beautiful new beginning in the sign of endings. It's a paradox of sorts. And the sun is coming out here. You know that nature speaks to you and things like that? You ever notice? Like, I had that whole thing happen yesterday, and I was questioning myself on things, and then the winds of change came, and I was able to look at the situation in a different light, and now the sun came out. You know, like the universe plays movies for you. Life is magical if you look at it to be magical. There we go. All right. Culminating message from Work Your Light. Align your life. What is not aligned or needs change? What in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings in a constant state of change, evolution, and growth. Change is one of the only certainties in life. When you resist your cyclic nature, you resist life and feel stuck. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants us to be. But there comes a time when it is harder to hold on to this facade than to embrace who we truly are, to surrender how we have changed and align to that way of being. If you pulled this card, you are being called to let go of who you once were or the things that you once defined yourself by. The job, the relationship, and the mask you wore, and to embrace who you truly are now. To courageously step into the person that you came here to be in full authenticity. To embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. It's like my motto. Perhaps you have outgrown some relationships or circumstances, and it is time to reassess and bring all the parts of your life into alignment so that they are congruent with who you truly are today. What in your life is not aligned or needs to change? Thank you for the culmination. This completely wrapped it up. So, talking to new people, right? We're talking about being your authentic, quirky self to meet these new people who may be bringing blessings into your life, right? These people who are out in the universe waiting to be met by you, these groups that are waiting for you to join them, they're going to teach you something about your boundaries. They're going to teach you who you are ready to welcome in and who you are able and absolutely empowered to not push away, but to say no to, to claim your space from. And the only way to do that is to act authentically, to be your true authentic self. Perhaps you have trouble setting boundaries because you're not living in alignment. I had hair in my face. You're not living in alignment with who you truly are. You might be living in alignment with this version of yourself that you've been told that you're supposed to be. If I would have listened to all the way, I'm the baby of 10 kids, right? If I would have listened to all of the things that my 9 older siblings told me I should be doing, I would be a completely different person right now. I would not be in alignment with my highest self, and my boundaries would be all messed up because I would be acting for other people, not acting for myself. What a better time to get this alignment card as we're walking into Pisces season. This card represents cyclical cycles, right? Or cyclical beings. We go through the whole thing and then we start it over again. And then we go through the whole thing and we start it over again. And here we're coming into the sign of Pisces, Venus and Neptune conjunct in Pisces today. Pisces representing final release. Shedding everything that is taking up space in your energetic body that isn't doing anything for you anymore, getting rid of all that to welcome in all this beautiful, joyous, brand new, fresh stuff. If you keep carrying these roles that are not in alignment with your highest good, if you keep carrying I want another anecdote, that's my superpower. If you're carrying these things that I was told that I'm supposed to be XYZ because I'm XYZ. You don't need to play into what society tells you that you're supposed to do. So I mentioned earlier about my Patreon community for Embody Astrology, and I'm working on releasing the pre-party package for the Pisces season. And actually, this card spoke very eloquently towards the guided meditation that I'm only going to release on the Patreon community. But it's literally about looking at different areas of your life and looking at what you're able to release in order to begin to align yourself with your highest incarnation. That's what the goal of this whole journey is going to be, figuring out how to be led by astrology, right? It's Pisces season. It's time to shed it. It's time to end the cycle so that you're fresh and new and nurtured to begin the next cycle of Aries, and so on and so forth. So yeah, Patreon, Embody Astrology, information on my website. Check it out. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. The more I do, so here, authentic self, the more I do all of these things that I do, I've been doing this spiritual business thing for a year and a half, and I'm literally just throwing tissues up in the air, oh, we'll see who catches this, we'll see who catches this, oh, I'm an astrologer, oh, I can also do tarot, oh, I can read Akashic records, oh, I do Reiki also, and I'm just throwing all these things out there, and astrology is continually what keeps nope, do astrology, here it is, do astrology. So that's me being my authentic self and inviting you guys for the journey. Okay, you didn't pack your backpack, but you can unpack and repack it from empty. I like that. Thank you for that. Okay, so your backpack, this energetic protection thing has been coming up in my life a lot too. I've been talking about it a lot lately, and I'm noticing why people need to protect their energy. I don't like telling people what they need to do, and I don't like the word should, so I'm at a loss for words, but it's beneficial to protect your energy. Backpack analogy. If you walk around with an open backpack, if like, were you guys bullied in school? Because I was, like, people can throw whatever they want in your backpack just to mess with you. And it's not always intentional. Like, people might drop something and it happens to fall in your backpack because the zipper's open. So you didn't pack your backpack. But energy work, right? Shadow work, releasing work, meditation is your opportunity to unpack your backpack, to empty it out. And by emptying it out, that doesn't mean you're going to throw it all away, but you're going to look and say, like, oh, this is garbage. These are my math notes. I might want that. Like, ooh, this is my journal. I don't want to read my journal all the time, but I'm going to keep it in there, and then you get to put back what it is that you want into your backpack. So thank you, Kay. Christina's writing that down. I love it. Hello, Huda. We are just wrapping up, but thanks for joining us. These replays are all on my YouTube channel. So search Jacqui Mancuso on YouTube. Subscribe so that you can be updated when I post new things. My podcast is also being released on YouTube. And my next episode is going to be coming out before the end of the week. And I had, oh my goodness, guys, I went to my aunt's house on Friday and we recorded 3 hours of content. And I'm definitely going to break it up into sections because you can't listen to people talk for 3 hours. But that's going to be another episode coming out on the another series of episodes coming out on the podcast. My aunt Jeannie, she just turned 59 and she's been living with AIDS for the last 30 years. And she is like the most trusting, surrendered, spiritual person I've ever met. And just hearing her describe her experience, she's been through some stuff, man. But yeah, that's an episode that's going to be coming out in the future, just to get you guys excited. Lynn, this is really resonating. Going through self-examination right now and working hard to accept my shadows so they can convert to some enlightenment. Yes, Lynn, and it's not fun work. I told you guys in the beginning, I had a thing happen yesterday. I was crying. I was feeling stupid. I knew it was my shadow coming out. I knew that these are untrue beliefs. I was fully aware of that, but I was like, just let me feel it so I can process it and get it out. Like, I don't want to carry this anymore. Like, let me work through it so that I can push it out. Not push it out, so I can release it. It's time to go. Thank you for reminding me that I had these beliefs about myself, but right now I'm choosing to let them go. Linda, I was too bullied. Let's dance it out. People pick on what they don't understand. And I don't love being misunderstood. I embrace being misunderstood. Bonnie, zip yourself up from your feet to your mouth and lock the key. That protects our energy. I love it. Christine says, Kay, I look at my family of origin and can apply that. Ooh, yes. Yes. Yes, Christine, I love it. Linda was talking about dancing because I always go join Katrina Boss. She's a teacher on Insight Timer. She just got her ecstatic dance session started, so I will meet you guys over there if you'd like to join. You're not on camera, so dance as crazy as you want and just let your body move and work out these emotions. I cry like all the time when I do this, and I love it. Thank you guys for being here with me today. I'll be back on Friday talking about Pisces season, and I will see you then. Love to all. Namaste. I will see you all very soon. Take care.